So here's the first try of this Erbauer jigsaw. This has lacquer on it, so that's the view that you should get when you are working with it. Start it first and then push it forward, or push it in and then start it. Different opinions. It's not perfect. So that screw is already moving, as you can see. Well, what do you know? You can't even tighten it. You can't remove it. Not moving. Not moving. Not. Now it's exiting. So this can't be tightened. Can be removed. Okay, that's one of the problems. Another one is that this opening is not exactly straight. It's slightly to the left, something like that. Not straight, but a bit left. So now the blade is inserted. And is that straight, or is it slightly to the left? It is to the left. And you watch from here. So let's try to replace the blade. This was not used, just a few times it was inserted. But as you can see here on the back, there is no usage mark. This has marks here, that's shiny, where it was in contact with that wheel. This is totally unused. And as I see from here, that also is slightly to the left. So it's not the problem of the blade, but of the machine itself. So when you're cutting, in order to cut straight, you always have to rotate it a little bit, and then it will cut straight. So let's test it. This is straight and this is not straight. Straight, not straight. Let's see. How must I hold it in order to cut straight? So I needed just a tiny amount to rotate it to the left, but it definitely has some twist in it. It was to the left and then corrected to the right. Now let's see once again. This light is very useful. The blade maybe can be straightened this way. That metal is kind of annoying. Can't really see where are you cutting. But other than that, it's okay. It's not too straight. Slightly to the left. Now this metal is kind of annoying because there's a problem when you are looking at it. Viewing it from the camera, which has only one camera, it's looking from one point, is different compared to looking with your own eye, which are two. With your left eye you are seeing something like this, so this is hiding the blade, and with your right eye you are seeing something like this. Now the right side is hiding the blade, so you're never seeing exactly this one when the blade is exactly in the center. So this should be wider. Of course, this happens if you are pretty close to the machine. If you are further away, then it's something like this. The blade is in front of the right metal, and when you are looking at it with your left eye, then the blade is in the middle. But of course, you want to be more close to it so that you can see something. Where are you cutting? And then this happens. This and that. Your left eye sees something like this, your right eye sees something like that. When cutting with the jigsaw, take in consideration the thickness of the blades also. So the thickness is 1 millimeter, or exactly 1.2. And thus draw two lines here. So I needed 774 millimeters. That's the first line, plus another line which is at 775 here, and the blade will go between those two lines. So draw two lines when you are cutting with a jigsaw. And when cutting with the jigsaw, don't push the jigsaw only forward so that it will cut the wood, but slightly move it backward and forward, I mean lean it. And this way it will cut a little bit from the top edge, and when it's moved the other way, then it will cut slightly from the lower edge. So it will cut faster because it does not need to cut the entire height of the wood. Plus here at the end, when the last line is broken, there also move it backward, so it will gradually cut down this portion and not at once, because it might tear it apart. So that movement can be done simply here on the front part by moving it up and down while pushing it forward. So just bounce it like that, and then it will cut from the top edge of the wood and then from the lower edge of the wood. Cut from the top, cut from the bottom. Now here's another problem. Here are 3 logs, and based on the top edge all of them are in one line, but based on the lower edge this one is a bit to the left, that one is to the right, that one is also to the right. That is because the blade of the jigsaw is moving a little bit to the left and to the right. It's not cutting always straight. Now here's an interesting situation. I should cut off these small ends, those 2 or 3 millimeters, but with this tool is not exactly okay, because only one part of the tool will be on the wood and the other can move freely. So this will not be at 90 degrees to this surface. See how the blade can move. So I managed to cut it off with that tool, but I started pretty correctly. This side is identical. Here you can see it better. So the width is almost identical here as there, almost. But on the other side is the opposite. So it's much thinner here and thicker there. So you can cut it, but it's not straight because only one side of the tool is supported, the other one is in the air. You can see even here that this part has more material missing, is more inside. I cut off a bit more.